चला सगळ्यांना सुप्रभात. आज मराठीत. आज युनायटेड नेशन्सनी वर्ल्ड आर्किटेक्चर डे जाहीर केलेला आहे आणि एक योगायोगाची गोष्ट म्हणजे वर्ल्ड हॅबिटॅट डेसुद्धा आज आहे. हा सर्व आर्किटेक्ट्सच्या दृष्टिकोनातून आणि प्लॅनर्सच्या दृष्टिकोनातून फार महत्त्वाचा दिवस आहे की जो जागतिक स्तरावर पाळला जातो. आणि आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये BNCAमध्ये फार मोठ्या प्रमाणावर आजच्या दिवशी निरनिराळ्या प्रकारचे कार्यक्रम होतात. अनेक आपल्याला ज्या माजी विद्यार्थिनी आहेत त्या आपल्याला सहभागी होतात आणि आम्हाला खूप अभिमान वाटतो की ज्या आमच्या माजी विद्यार्थिनी आहेत त्या आज आर्किटेक्चरच्या प्रॅक्टिसमध्ये खूप वरच्या स्तरावर पोचलेल्या आहेत आणि हा आमच्या दृष्टीने एक अभिमानाची बाब आहे. त्यामुळे आणि त्याचबरोबर त्या एक आदर्श म्हणून सध्याच्या ज्या आमच्या विद्यार्थिनी आहेत त्यांच्यासमोर त्यांनी उदाहरण ठेवलेलं आहे. तर मी सर्व आर्किटेक्ट्सना, सहकार्यांना, माजी विद्यार्थिनींना आणि सध्याच्या विद्यार्थिनींना मी या प्रसंगी आर्किटेक्चर दिनाच्या शुभेच्छा देतो आणि त्यांनी जगामध्ये आर्किटेक्चरचं महत्त्व हे अधोरेखित करून सर्वांना, सर्वसामान्य जनतेला याविषयी माहिती द्यावी आणि आर्किटेक्चर हे लोकप्रिय करावं अशी मी सगळ्यांना विनंती करतो. धन्यवाद.
A happy World Architecture's Day to all architects and all architecture students. Architecture has always been considered as a profession for the wealthy, but we have looked at architecture in a different way in our institute, and we have always looked at architecture as something which serves the different causes, social causes, different needs of the poor and the needy, where design interventions can actually help them overcome their problems. We have done this through our academic programs, projects, outreach activities, etc. And I am also proud that a lot of our alumni have followed suit in their practices as well, where they are working for different strata of society who actually need architecture design interventions for addressing their issues. So the following podcast that we are having of the works of our alumni would illustrate this point that I just put forward. And we look forward for more and more of our alumni to follow suit and make the nation and the college proud. All the best to all of you.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the World Architecture Day. The World Architecture Day is celebrated on the first Monday of October every year. This is celebrated to basically acknowledge the commitment of the architects and the city planners for this profession. This profession gives a lot to the society, the community, its well-being, and its overall strength. BNCA Alumni is shaped to represent the women workforce in this fraternity. And our students do basically a very good job of balancing the role of their profession, their home, and offer sincerity to this profession. And I'm sure that our students will take on the world and will be representing BNCA in the forefront. Thank you.
Greetings on occasion of the World Architecture Day 2025, highlighting the theme Design for Strength to create sustainable, inclusive and resilient communities. Under the visionary leadership of Principal Dr. Anurag Kashyap and the BNCA team, along with our alumni as a brand ambassadors, BNCA has built a strong global reputation over last 3 decades. In the initial phase, we have planned 2 podcasts of BNCA Alumni Stories. We aim to cultivate a deeper connection between academics and professional world, inspiring the next generation of architects. I am sure you will enjoy these podcasts. Happy World Architecture Day from Ekatra BNCA Alumni Association.
Hello and welcome to BNCA Alumni Stories, where we catch up with past students of Bhanubhe Nanavati College of Architecture, who are now shaping the world of design. Today, we are joined with Pritika Manjrekar, Principal Architect and founder of Moco Design Studio. Since 2006, Moco has inspired many architects, specialized in commercial, residential, and institutional projects, delivering over 15 million square feet of design excellence. As the studio steps into 20th year, we celebrate Pritika's journey of creating spaces that are thoughtful, resilient, and rooted in context. And as we mark the World Architecture Day 2025 with the theme Design for Strength, announced by the International Union of Architects, we'll explore how architects can build resilient, adaptable, and culturally sensitive environments that withspread, adapt to, and recover from today's urban challenges. Hello,
Hi, Smriti.
how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for that introduction. It was lovely.
Okay, so my first question to you would be, what do you think about the theme for this year, and how will you relate to this theme and align your design to this theme?
So I love the theme for the year. I think it's lovely to have this International Association of Architecture that actually gives us annual themes. I think it as an architect also we get aligned to it. And strength for architecture is a really interesting topic. For me, it helps me take myself beyond what most people think of architecture as. So a lot of times, architecture is commoditized. Right? These are beautiful spaces. Of course, they're healthy spaces. They're sustainable spaces. But a lot of times, we become kind of solution oriented, or we just kind of are delivering something that is pretty. And I think we're much more than that. I think so it's strength, like the word strength or Shakti, as you would call it, has a lot of power.
Right.
And I think the theme is completely aligning us that wake up to the power of architecture.
Right.
And like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. So the way you align or the way I would align is just become very mindful. As an architect, every line you put on that paper, every little decision to every large decisions you make, it affects people for years to come because we built spaces that have been last.
Right.
Right. So I feel just that power, uh, of course, align to it, harness it, but be very, very mindful, very, very mindful of it. So always trying, always a step towards that. But yeah, that's what I'm excited about.
Great. Was there a project at Moco that really showed you what it means to design for strength, whether in the form of durability, community resilience, or cultural sensitivity?
So I would like to say that every project at Moco does that. Every project brings out a very different kind of architect in you because a project is sensitive and then it sensitizes another part of you. But I will just talk about the recent project that we're about to deliver. It's a 4 million square feet commercial project in Kharadi. It's called 84. And scale is got a lot of power again. So when you're doing a 4 million square feet, you're catering to 40,000 people that are coming in and out of that project every day. Also, it's about a 17-acre parcel. We have one of the largest nalas in Pune that is crossing this land. It was a highly contoured land. It sits in a very, very urban, highly populated part of the city. So, as an architect, again, the strength is, of course, that build to last, as you talked about durability. You have to design not for today, but for the future. We started designing this project right around the COVID times. We didn't even know if this would do well, right? Because all of a sudden people were going to work from home. So we had to create a project that would now excite people to come back to work. So this project has everything from basketball courts, tennis courts, to football fields, to gyms, to salons. Everything that a person would like to have from a wellness perspective, because this was very inspired during the COVID times. That's when we designed it. So it kind of wants to have that balance between the work-life balance. So it's an exciting project. It has helped me understand that in a time of pandemic, how do you show strength? How do you help your client bring people back? How do you help your end users feel so connected to the space that it feels like home and you don't have to be away from home, to show up. So that this has been an exciting project. Like I said, the environment has played a huge role. Having a large nala pass through it also awakened different side of sustainability. And as we partnered with a lot of collaborators that helped us do right by it. So it's been exciting. It's been very inclusive. This is also a project where the 2016 Disability Act is something that we took very seriously because of the likes of the client coming into that project. So the accessibility of the differently abled was at the core of this project, right? So it also, again, the strength of this project is inclusivity. So it's been a really exciting project for me.
Right. The theme emphasizes
Mhm.
on architects' role in crisis. How do you see architects contributing to architectural fields in Indian cities?
So I just spoke about a crisis.
Right.
I just spoke about the pandemic.
Right.
Let's talk about a current crisis because that was still 5 years ago now. So the current crisis, I mean, inclusivity is a word, or equity is a word that comes up very, very often. Identity is a word that comes up very, very often, right? We have a third gender now. Everyone wants to understand which box are you putting them or not putting them in. And as an architect, believe it or not, this becomes our problem, right? So I read an interview of somebody that comes from the third gender, and they said in his interview that I didn't know which toilet to go to. Right, I'm standing at an airport and I don't know whether to go to the his or the her, and I don't know whether I will be safe in one, and I don't know if others will feel safe when I enter that one. And as an architect, you understand, wow, what a small decision that I make does impact the world, or somebody's identity, or somebody's feeling of safety. So that's been, I think it is I wouldn't say it's a crisis, but it's a current phenomena we're dealing with. And so we've really sensitized ourselves. We have a lot of understanding of that. We align ourselves to what international architects or international forums are expecting you to do. And so our projects always have a gender neutral toilet, or we have, like I said, a lot of attention to differently abled people. We keep thinking about what are the different identities currently and how do we cater to them. And this is something, women are talking a lot about having space at work for their children. Right? Everyone's demanding that. So, as an architect, when we enforce it, when we talk about it, we talk about that kind of inclusivity, that kind of sensitivity to our clients, then they will follow it, right? If you have to, the job of an architect always starts with awareness. Make your client aware that this even exists, that people out there want you to do this. It's a powerful role, and you have to do justice to it. So that is the current phenomena that we're dealing with. That would be very human centric. Now there's also climate centric, which we're really really dealing with currently, which is also a huge crisis. And again, people like IGDC really help us. We are now aiming towards net zero ready buildings. So the new project that we've just started, about a 2 million square foot in Kharadi, we are promising to go towards a net zero ready. So these are the two, human crisis and environmental crisis, that we're hoping to contribute towards.
Right. So, running your own practice takes strength of its own.
Mhm.
What were the toughest challenges that you faced, and how did you build resilience as a leader?
This is my favorite question so far. The challenges are, Smriti, never outside of you.
Right.
They're right here. They're inside of you.
Yes.
And the challenges are all these illusions. So, when you're in college, your fourth year, fifth year, even when you graduate, right, the first few years, you have certain illusions. And the world is not very kind, and it'll burst your illusions one at a time. Um, I think for me, getting over those illusions for the self, like I will tell you, freedom is a myth, it's an illusion, right? So you think that, oh, if I have my name on the door and you're the principal architect, then I have full freedom, that I will do what I want. No, no. We're very accountable. So a junior architect may be accountable to a senior architect. A senior architect may be accountable to an associate architect. An associate architect may be accountable to a principal architect. A principal architect is very much accountable to her client. Her client is accountable to his client. His client is accountable to his client. Look, we live in a capitalist world, and whether we like it or not, everyone is accountable. So the illusion that at some level my accountability will go away, that was my biggest challenge. And once I've accepted that no accountability is going away, then you keep yourself accountable, and it doesn't matter. Once you start keeping yourself accountable, then whether you're a principal or an associate, the position that you fight so hard for does not matter. And I will tell you what happens. Architects are known to be, if I can say so, egocentric. So then clients and them kind of have a little bit of a hustle or a tussle. But once you understand that, no, he's as much as an architect as I am, in his own way, may not have a BArch. But the
Right.
architecting, the word architect is far more than just getting a degree.
Right.
And once you get that, you leave that position out of your head, you break that illusion that I am the architect and everyone must listen to my vision. No such things. You open up to collaborations, you open up to listening, uh, and then everything falls into place. That was my biggest challenge.
Right.
I think in 20 years, and now it's getting a little better.
For BNC students who want to be a part of building stronger cities, what advice would you give about balancing creativity with responsibility towards people and the planet?
I think we've covered a lot of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But why don't you ask me as Smithy? Like, what is it that is there something that confuses you in this? In this, I would ask you that question.
I am a fourth year student.
Mhm.
I would rather be confused as to what should I do next. There are so many opportunities. It's not just architecture that we would limit ourselves to.
Mm.
Were you confused at any point after your college?
I was never confused. I don't think that's a good thing. Though. So I don't think that not being confused is always good, right? But I was not. And I think that I had a lot of conviction in me that yahi karna hai and isi raste pe chalna hai. And so
Right.
you kind of dive in. But when I had that kind of, you know, conviction in myself, it doesn't mean my plans did not change, Smriti.
Right.
But my plans changed on the go, and I had to kind of then adapt, just adapt to it. But I think confusion is a good thing because confusion just means that before you jump in, you are already thinking it out,
Right.
right? So you're probably thinking, do I do my master's
Exactly.
or do I kind of go into the field,
Right.
right? And I will answer that because this is close to my heart, that question. And I feel that master's is about excellence in a certain niche part of architecture. And architecture is vast, right? It's so big what it means to be an architect.
Right.
So, how will you know what to do your niche in? So, my advice, and I wouldn't say it's the only advice, right? But my advice is go work as an architect, as a generalist,
Right.
before you become a specialist. Go be there, out there, work for 3 to 4 years, work on a project, and then see what is really exciting you. Or do you want to continue being a generalist? Because architect in general is a generalist. He or she is not a specialist. So let's say you specialize, then you will go into environmental architecture and you will give a consultancy to the architect. Or you, let's say, specialize in becoming a facade consultant. So then you will start becoming a specialist to the generalist. But remember, the generalist interestingly remains the principal consultant on the project.
Right.
So while the illusion may be that the specialists are, doing something more special, remember the generalist is kind of working with all the specialists. So go out there and I would say work for a few years. But that's me.
That's true. That has actually helped me a lot. This answer will help me a lot. So thank you so much for this answer. Okay. So last one. If you had to summarize BNCA's role in your life in one word or a phrase, what would it be?
I would say confidence and safety. It comes from our leader, Kashyap sir. He is a very, very confident person. And, he never made me feel like I settled. What that means is I was in a college in Pune, but I could have been anywhere in the world. The feeling that he gave me was like I'm in the best college in the world. And that really helps you. It excites you. It kind of gives you that confidence to go out there, face the world, and say that I come from the best. And that comes from the leader. And it's with me all the time.
Thank you so much for this inspiring conversation. You have really showed us what strength means, not only as a term, but in general. From BNCA classrooms to global design tech, Your journey is proof that architecture is more than just buildings. It's imagination made real. And to our BNCA family watching this, we all would like to firstly thank you. Thank you for carving out time for this podcast and giving us all the advices as students as we need. And yeah, so thank you. Also, to all the BNCA family who's watching us, don't forget to share this episode. Stay tuned for more alumni stories.
So, Smriti, I would like to also give my conclusion.
Yes.
So, thank you for reaching out. It's always great to connect with your alma mater, right?
Right.
Otherwise, you're out there in the world and you're doing architecture day in and day out, but you forget where you come from. And it's nice to take that moment and say that everything comes back at different times in your lives, right? So, my history of architecture teacher, architect Purva Keskar, who I also work with now, like the small things that she's taught me comes back. Or resilience that came from Lily sir or Shinde sir just tearing our sheets all the time. It's made me so resilient. It's made me so resilient that you're not scared anymore. You've kind of seen it all. You're like, okay, now you go in front of an EC committee. You're like, oh, you don't scare me. I've been scared.
You've seen the world.
I've seen something and I've tried through it.
Right.
Right. So I do think that the professors, each and every one of them, some of them are not even with us anymore, but in every way they've contributed to where I am today. So I would like to take that moment and say thank you to the college. You girls are very lucky that you're in this college. Remember, we go to an all girls college. And so then when you come out there, you have the other gender and now many more facing you. But the college has made you strong enough that you won't blink.
Right.
Yeah, so they're doing something right. So thank you for that. And lots of gratitude. Happy World Architecture Day.
Happy World Architecture Day. Thank you so much.